about a kilometer from where I camped last night. I've got this beautiful view. Getting out of camp a little bit late because yesterday was a long day. Today I'm going to take it easy. It's not as far, 14 kilometers, and the trail is much better. So I'm going to spend more time playing with the camera and back to the usual program. So I'm crossing another one of these raised beaches, and just off the beaten path I'm looking around and I found, if you can look below me here, what's known as a Pukaskwa pit. Indigenous people made these. They don't know why. There's one here, one there, one over there, maybe one over there. I'm gonna go check it out. But yeah, it's a bit of a mystery why these were made. This is the bigger of the four that I found so far. I know that some are quite large, and some, especially on the islands, are very large. So this is something, again, indigenous people did. Who knows why? It could be simple as a hunting blind or something like that. But it could have also had some sort of spiritual purpose. Who knows? So you got to keep your wits about you on this trail. There's a couple of cairns here, which leads me to believe I'm supposed to go down here. Not a lot of options. Probably down there is the way to go. But before I commit myself, I'm going to look around. I don't see any other options over here. And I really don't see any cairns out here. So I stop and I pause. I look more carefully and I see a very small rock cairn over there. It's a long ways away, but you can see it. So yeah, I will go down here and along there and look for more cairns. This is the Willow River Bridge. Quite a fancy bridge for a hiking trail. Last time I was here, it was merely 3 cables that stretched across the river. You stood on one cable and held onto the other 2. There was some lashing between them and some boards on the bottom one. This is quite an upgrade. They did this a few years ago, and it's really nice. Here I am near the beach at the Willow River. This is my last, well, I'll see the lake, but this is the last time I'll be close to Lake Superior for today. I'm going to head inland now, up towards the White River and my next campsite, about 8 kilometers or so. It's nice to have a nice slow day after a hectic day yesterday. I'm just enjoying the sights and sat down here, had a break, and a little bit of water and some lunch. Now I'm going to move on. Here we are, almost at the end of day 3. I've just got to go over this little knoll here, and about another 500 meters after that I'll be in camp. So yeah, end of a good day. In some pretty serious boreal forest here. We've come away from the lake, and now this is a real mix of spruce and poplar and birch. You get a lot more spruce here in the northeast of Ontario than you do in the northwest. In the northwest you get a lot more pine because the climate is drier. Tough afternoon, good solid afternoon. My legs are tired. I took a break about half an hour ago and stood up, and my legs were very stiff. So putting in a big day yesterday, followed by a decent day today, starting to take its toll. So I'm glad I'm almost at camp. I think that's sort of focused on me. No, not quite, eh? Hold my hand here. Focus on the hand, focus on the hand. Let's see, does that look better? That looks better. Hi guys, this is my last night here at Pukaskwa National Park. I'm at Hook Falls. It's about 8 kilometers out of here. On this trip, I thought I lost a pair of socks. I didn't. I found them again, but that pair of socks reminded me of a story that I thought I'd share with you. Because last time I was here, I lost a pair of socks in this very same campsite. Didn't really lose them, sort of gave them away. My friend Glenn and I were camping over there. It was our first night on our trip. It was an early spring trip. It was still pretty cold, so we had finished supper. We were just, you know, everything had been put away. We didn't have a fire going yet. We were just having a couple drinks, just as guys do on a camping trip. And we're interrupted. This young kid comes busting into our campsite. The campsite's not very far away. It's just 20 meters away. You can see both campsites. So he came here. He busted over there. And he's kind of upset. We didn't understand. We didn't see anything wrong with him at first. And he said, "Can't you see?" He's speaking in French, and I speak a little bit of French. And he said, "Can't you see? I'm wet. I'm wet from the shoulders down." We couldn't figure that out. He was really cold. He was getting you know, hypothermia was a threat. And what had happened was, earlier in that day, we crossed the creek, and in springtime the water was high, and there was a log bridge on that creek. And when Glenn and I crossed it, it looked suspicious. We kicked it. Turned out the log was floating, so we went around a different way. This kid stepped on that log, not very far from here, went right into the stream, up to his shoulders, and all his stuff was wet. So he came in here. He was asking for feu, that's French for fire, and we didn't have a fire going. He was really upset about that. So quickly Glenn and I got our saws out and started cutting wood just over the bank here, and we built a roaring fire for him to dry out. That poor kid didn't have any of his stuff in a dry bag. He had a gigantic pack. Nothing was protected from moisture, and he had all kinds of tools. He had a big Rambo knife and all Leatherman on his belt and stuff, but he didn't have the tools necessary to make a fire. So we dried out all his stuff. He was fine. The next day he built a little shelter right over here, crawled into it, and I gave him a pair of my socks, the exact same brand, Wigwam socks. And in the morning when Glenn and I left, he was still asleep, so I never got my socks back. So I guess moral of the story is always carry an extra pair of socks, and always know what you're doing. Number one, you don't need to bring all that Rambo knife sort of junk. Bring stuff to make a fire, number one. Number two, keep your stuff dry. Make sure it's in dry bags. Even on I haven't had any rain, but all my stuff, my sleeping stuff, my tent, all my clothes are in dry bags all the time. Anyway, that's my story about the Wigwam socks at Hook Falls. This is my last significant water crossing. This is the bridge over the White River. If you like the bridge over the Willow River, you're going to love this one. You know you're in the front country when they start giving you maps that say you are here. So I woke up here this morning, across that there bridge. Now I'm here. See? Here. Now it wants to get from here to there. That's where my truck is. Got it?